Atlanta, Georgia, a city built on dreams, ambition, and shadows that refuse to die. On a humid summer night in 2021, a man many call the heart of the South Side was found dead in the back of his car. His name, Marcus Hale, a businessman, a father, and just 2 months earlier, a free man. Anchor Archival News. Today, a Fulton County jury found local businessman Marcus Hale not guilty on all charges. But freedom in America isn't always what the court says it is. Marcus Hale was a 42-year-old entrepreneur, born and raised in Atlanta's Mechanicsville neighborhood. He ran a construction firm that employed over 60 men and women from his community, many of them formerly incarcerated. Deborah Hale interviewed. His wife, soft-spoken, composed. He believed that everyone deserves a second chance. That's who he was. Marcus didn't just build houses. He rebuilt people, but not everyone saw him as a hero. For years, the East Division precinct had been under quiet scrutiny, multiple brutality complaints, racial bias investigations, none of them sticking. Among its ranks was a group of officers who called themselves the Brotherhood. Locals called them the East Division 6. On the morning of April 14, 2020, at exactly 5:43 a.m., Marcus Hale's home was raided by police. Deborah interviewed. They said they had a warrant for wire fraud. But Marcus, he kept saying, "This is a mistake. Call my lawyer." They pushed him to the ground, in front of our kids. The officers claimed Marcus was laundering money through his business. But what they didn't say was that the warrant came from an unverified tip, signed off by Detective Raymond Doss, the same man who'd been accused of falsifying evidence 5 years earlier. Anchor Archival. Police seized more than $400,000 in what they call suspicious business accounts. Community activists interview. Suspicious to who? Marcus was one of the few black contractors winning city contracts. That's what made him a target. Within hours, Marcus's name flooded every Atlanta news feed. Before he even stepped into court, Marcus had already been tried, not by a jury, but by headlines. Journalists interview. You could feel the bias. When a black man succeeds, they call it suspicious. When he fails, they call it predictable. The state built its case on numbers that didn't add up. Phantom accounts, forged invoices, manipulated data. But Marcus's defense team exposed every crack. Defense attorney archival. Ladies and gentlemen, the so-called evidence was created by the very officers who raided his home. After 6 weeks, the verdict was clear. Judge archival. On all counts, not guilty. Justice, it seemed, had finally spoken. But for the East Division 6, justice was a language they refused to understand. In police culture, there's an unspoken code, the blue wall of silence. Once crossed, it rarely forgives. Doss reenactment. That man made us look like fools. He embarrassed the department. Pike, doesn't matter what the court says. We know what he did. Behind closed doors, resentment simmered into rage. The district attorney had quietly opened a probe into police misconduct, focusing on the very officers who arrested Marcus Hale. And that's when things turned deadly. June 19th, Juneteenth. Marcus had just left a community celebration at his youth center. Security footage captured him laughing, waving goodbye. It would be the last image of him alive. Dashcam footage. A black SUV follows his car. At 11:42 p.m., Marcus called his wife. "Deborah," he said, "I think someone's following me." Then the line went dead. The next morning, Marcus's body was found in his vehicle, riddled with bullets. No witnesses, no shell casings, only tire tracks from a police-issue SUV. Public outrage erupted. Mayor archival press conference. We will not rest until the perpetrators are brought to justice. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over the case. Within days, inconsistencies began to surface. GBI agent reenactment. That's a city-issued tag. Look, Unit 4682. It's registered to East Division. But when the Bureau requested the vehicle logs, they were missing. Body cameras that were active that night malfunctioned. Radio dispatch records wiped. Prosecutor interview. It felt orchestrated. Every trace of evidence pointing toward those officers was erased. But one clue survived. Marcus's phone, recovered from the passenger seat, contained a voice memo, a message he never got to send. Marcus, audio. If anything happens, tell them it was the cops. Activist interview. They tried to silence him, but all they did was make us louder. Marcus's death ignited a movement that stretched beyond Atlanta, from Birmingham to Baltimore. But inside East Division, the silence grew deeper. The Brotherhood closed ranks, and one by one, potential whistleblowers disappeared from the department, until one officer broke the code. Officer silhouetted interview. We followed him that night. Doss ordered it, said it was just surveillance. But when the shots went off, I knew it was over. He turned over GPS records and text messages, proof that 4 East Division officers were near Marcus's car at the time of his death. Job's done. Problem solved. 11:58 p.m. When those messages surfaced, the department went into lockdown. Police chief, these allegations are under internal review. But behind that statement, a different story. Chief, you made this department look bad. Now fix it. Evidence disappeared overnight. Witnesses retracted statements. And the whistleblower? He resigned 2 days later. The investigation stalled. And the men responsible for Marcus's death were still on duty. Deborah interview. Every morning I wake up and tell my kids their father was a hero. But heroes don't get justice in this city. She filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the Atlanta Police Department. Within weeks, her family began receiving threats. Deborah, they slashed my tires, followed my son from school. They want us scared, but fear only fueled her resolve. Deborah, they can kill the man, but they will not kill the truth. Months later, a freelance journalist obtained a leaked body cam clip. Hidden inside an old police cloud server, the footage was incomplete, but enough. Doss, he's getting away. Pike, end it. The footage vanished from the server the next morning, but not before it was copied. Journalist, when I realized what I had, I knew my life would change, and maybe end. The tape became the spark, and the cover-up became a wildfire. Internal memos leaked by a city clerk revealed a chain of communications between the East Division and City Hall. Days before Marcus's death. Keywords: contain situation, avoid federal inquiry. It wasn't just a few bad cops anymore. It was an entire system protecting its own. Among Marcus's belongings, investigators found a handwritten note tucked in his desk drawer. Marcus, if I don't make it out of this, tell them I forgave them long before they try to break me. Because hate can't kill a man who already found peace. He never lived to see the world he dreamed of, but his death awakened one. The department doubled down. Officers involved were placed on administrative leave. No charges were filed, but something was shifting. Federal agents had quietly reopened the case, and this time, the spotlight was too bright to turn off. As new evidence surfaced, one question echoed across the nation. How far will the police go to bury the truth? Doss reenactment. The bureau's sniffing around. If that footage leaks again, we're done. Pike, then we make it disappear. All of it. Before dawn, evidence rooms were emptied. Witnesses vanished. And the same men who pulled the trigger prepared to erase every trace. Justice was coming, but so was the storm. Federal agents would later uncover a network of officers linked to multiple wrongful deaths. What they found next would shock the nation. Fire to be continued in Part 2. The Blue Veil, the investigation that broke the silence and the revenge that followed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more true crime story.